Hey everybody, I'm Ryan, this is The Will to Make, and today I'm going to show you how I built this picnic table sandbox. So I started off this project with some old fence pickets I had torn down. These were pretty dirty, but I knew they would clean up with some sanding and paint. I cut 8 of them down to the same length. These will be for the 2 benches, the bottom of the box, and the lid. I then cut 5 boards in half in order to get 10 2 3/4 inch strips. These strips were cut down into all my other pieces, starting with 2 for the long sides of the box. Two for the short sides of my box. Two for the bottom of my lid. And 2 for my long stretchers where my benches will sit. I also put a 45-degree angle on these just for looks. I then set my miter saw to 30 degrees and cut my 2 short stretchers. With it still set at 30 degrees, I cut my 4 legs by making 1 cut, sliding the board down and making a parallel cut. I set up a stop here to ensure all my legs were the same length. I figured it'd be way easier to sand now, so I went over every piece with some 120 grit sandpaper. Everything was now cut and it was time for assembly. I laid 2 of my legs down and laid a small stretcher across them. Using some wood glue and screws, I secured the stretcher to one side. Then to the other. This was done as well for the second set of legs. Now I need to attach the bottom stretcher where the benches will sit. I started by marking where it will sit, then applied some glue right above those marks. Laid my piece in place and ensured it was evenly spaced, then screwed it down. Again, this was done on the second set of legs. Now both sets were done, and after trying to figure out the best way to continue, I decided to start by attaching the bench. I put glue on the stretcher and attached my bench, ensuring there was an inch overhang. I only put 1 screw in for now so everything could still move while I lined the other sides. I threw glue on the other side and attached the bench. The other bench was done the same way. Once everything was aligned, I went back and added another screw to each side of both benches. Now I started on the bottom of the box. I applied glue to the top of each leg assembly, then laid my board in the middle. I ensured it was evenly spaced and also had an inch overhang on both sides. then secured with more screws. Two more boards were butted up to the center board and screwed down as well. Next were the sides of the box. I laid a bead of glue and screwed from the bottom. The short sides were done the same way. Where the sides met each other, I drove in another screw. Then the last long piece was installed. For the lid, I laid 3 boards down and 2 small boards on top. I evenly spaced these boards and marked where they were. I applied glue in between my marks. I laid my piece back down and screwed in a screw into each board. Everything was now complete, so I gave everything a couple coats of white paint. Once dry, I took it outside and filled the top with some plate sand. And with that, this project was complete. It can now be used as a sandbox or a picnic table and will get tons of use. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.